What's going on? Oh no! Oh no! There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the boot breakdown. Glad
The
you're all
boot.
here. You know it. And now I'll pass it on to my buddy, the one and only Jordan Taylor. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Nick, can you hear me, Nick?
Yes, I can hear you. He trying to play like he Shador.
Oh man. I can't hear him though. I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
You can't hear him either. Okay. I think he can hear us, but we can't hear him. What's up, Sinead? How you doing? Nick, she said you better be coming with gifts today.
Some gifts.
Hey, I hear you now. I hear you now. I hear you now, Jordan Taylor.
Well, it's about to go back out. Watch this.
Oh God, no. Nope, it went out. I heard it. I heard it went out. Yep.
All right. This works.
That works fine, man. It works fine.
Nick, you better have some gifts for the man.
Why?
But that man said you talk bad about LCA, man. That's what he said, man.
I saying a lot of things, but I'm 50-50 right now. So I was shocked as well as everybody else, and I gotta eat the crow. I gotta eat the crow.
I ain't saying nothing.
Take it away.
I'm gonna drink my Dr. Pepper and let y'all handle that.
No.
Y'all been doing a fantastic job the last couple of times I couldn't make it, and I want to thank you guys for continuing to do the Sunday show. It'd have been easy just to say we don't have a full crew. Let's just skip this week, but you guys have held the ship down, and it's an honor to sit with y'all on Sundays and talk a little ball. Whether we was dead wrong on some picks or predictions, or if we actually look good that week.
Well, Chris Berman said that's why they play the games.
Hey, I can't play. You can't play. He can't play. The kids got to go decide it on the field.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This is, if I can read the title right, it looks like episode 6 of the Boot Breakdown. It is week 5 of high school football game picks, the show that we talk about what happened on Thursday, Friday, and even on Saturday. Not many Saturday games to discuss this week, if all any, but we did have some great ones on Thursday night. We did have some great ones on Friday. My name is Jordan Taylor. This is JB, the Sports Guy. This is Nick with the Prep Report. You can catch myself on Wednesdays, 8:30 to 11. You can catch JB with the Hashed Out Show from 7 to 8:30 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And you can catch the Nick Prep Report, Nick and Coach, for your brunch, 11 a.m. special on Thursdays. Got it?
Oh, yeah.
Got it. Let's go. We got a lot to get to. Real quick, sum up week 5 for yourself as you walk away from week 5. Sum it up for me.
Sum it up. Week 5. Great football. We had some teams that you could say got upsets. You could say some games went down to the buzzer, like game-winning touchdowns.
At
You
the
could say,
buzzer, BK said. I know he said at the gun.
yeah, as BK said, at the gun. I was like,
Gun.
God. But we had games that saw spectacular athletes go at it. We had games where a national power says to another school, "You're not about to take over. We still run this." We had a bunch of great
Mhm.
games this weekend for week 5 that just was just unbelievable.
Nick, break us
Yeah,
down. Sum up week 5.
Week 5. Week 5 was a little bit different than others. You know, some things usually remain the same when it gets down to week 5, but it started showing a lot of contenders who are contenders and who are starting to be pretenders. You know, we talked about this 2 weeks ago about who's going to start making their move, and I'm just saying that we had one player return back to his team, and that team put up 63 points.
Football,
Hey,
We be pretenders, you know.
we have a segment in that a little later in the show. Once we save that one for it.
Oh yeah.
Before we do get going with the show, I do have some scores from around the state that I'm gonna go through quickly. That we won't be breaking down the games, but I did want to acknowledge how great of a week 5 we did have. If that's
yes,
cool.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
And at any point, if you want to jump in and give your immediate reaction or talk about the game, just stop me, okay?
All right.
All right, a couple games I want to reel off here in a row before we even jump into breaking down games. Thomas Jefferson knocks off Cohen 52-44. Mamu knocks off Crawley, another one at the buzzer, 20-18. General Trask knocks off Bastrop 32-30. Good one there. Northside and Rain dueled it out with a 49-43 Viking win. North Iberville and Vinton back and forth action. That one finished. North Iberville 46, Vinton 40. Franklin knocks off Patterson 36-34. Jonesboro Hodge knocks off Arcadia 49-44. Sarah T. Reed knocked off Fisher 13-6. Maryville knocked off Northwood Lena 22-20. Ville Platte Spalls Bazille's homecoming 6-0. Delta Charter knocked off Cedar Creek 36-31. Springfield knocked off Central Providence 40-34. We got Shaw knocking off De La Salle 28-20. St. John knocking off Covington Christian 28-21. Laurelville stops Kaplan's go-ahead 2-point conversion for the win 21-20. The Audubon Woods knocks off Green Oaks 44-42. Prairieville upsets Walker 28-23. And Catholic of Baton Rouge loses to out-of-state Mississippi team 27-26. Lafayette over Sam Houston 35-28. A.J. Ellender over South Terrebonne 10-9. And that is a look at some of the teams around the state. Some of the teams that we won't talk much about tonight, but you do have to give credit because there was great games all over the state.
You got to. Like I said, week 5 was a great week of games all over the state. You just broke it down. That Ellender's and I think that was South Terrebonne or South Lafourche, you said?
You said A.J. Ellender and South Terrebonne?
South Terrebonne 10-9.
10-9.
10-9, man. You talk about a good defensive ball game. I like defensive ball games. Don't get me wrong, I do. And a 10-9 game, man, that's something right there. Somebody got to break just a little bit for somebody to win. And apparently, Eleanor got the field goal to win that game 10-9. So that definitely jumped out to me.
Yeah. What jumped out to me is Abramson High School is undefeated.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a shocker. I mean, it takes so much for a school like that to recover and repair, start getting some athletes in and get a good coach in. And I was excited to see it's been first time in 30 years, almost 30 years, that they've been 5-0. So that's a big shot because I know a lot of people in New Orleans East, they watch this show too.
Yeah.
All right. We're at the halfway point. We're starting to see district play. We're starting to see homecoming games. We're starting to see, like my good friend Nick said, contenders starting to separate themselves.
Mhm.
I want to ask you guys the question: do you believe there is better football being played this year through the midway point compared to where we were a year ago?
I would say no. I would say no.
I'm with Nick. I would say no too. I'm with Nick.
Do you think the football at this point a year ago was just a tad bit better than where we sit right now?
From my perspective, yeah, it was all around. It was better football being played offensively and defensively to me. So I'm with Nick.
Yeah. When you look around the state and you see some of these prominent programs then took like a back seat, and it's not because of lack of talent. It's not because of the upsets. It's about something that we probably gonna face in the near future. The grabbing of kids and the shifting of the guards. So I mean, we got to really start to stabilizing ourselves again as a state to see like the real prominent programs and a real movement of a lot of players in the state.
Okay. Cool. All right. You guys seen some games this week? I saw some games this week. JB had a sellout, I guess you can call it. They couldn't put no one else in the stadium.
Man,
And Nick, I'm not sure where you went, but I would love to hear from you guys of the games that you did get to see in person. You did get to cover on the broadcast, did get to cover for your network. And also I had two good ones on Thursday and Friday also. So I'll let y'all go first.
Yes, you did. So I had John Ehret versus John F. Kennedy, and it was John Ehret's homecoming. It was on Thursday night, and that homecoming was spoiled. John F. Kennedy defeats John Ehret 42-0. Ehret defensively didn't have an answer for John F. Kennedy. They started a brand new quarterback. I don't know if the original quarterback was hurt or what. I don't know. He didn't dress out, but he was on the sideline. And John Ehret couldn't move the ball at all offensively. And Kennedy just had their way with them, able to do whatever they want to do. That was running, throwing, blitzing, coverage, whatever you want to name. Kennedy had their way with John Ehret and spoiled their homecoming. Friday night, we had broadcast St. James versus St. Charles. St. Charles got up on St. James first, I think 14-0. Then St. James had 28 unanswered points on them. Then St. Charles tied the game up. And then with 5 seconds left, St. James quarterback Jawan Jackson throws a touchdown to Ja'Kias Villanova. And Ja'Kias Villanova.
Can I ask you a question real quick before you continue?
Yes, sir.
And Nick, you can answer this also. I asked VK whenever I talked to him yesterday, I asked him his thoughts of the decision right there with 5 seconds because the ball was tipped up. If it hits the ground, they're going in overtime, and there was never an opportunity for a field goal right there. So do you like the decision to the end zone with 5 seconds, or are you kicking it in that decision right there? Because if it hits the ground, time's out.
Well, you got to realize St. James kicker is hurt.
Yeah.
The kicker is hurt.
It was going to come down to a throw to the end zone.
Right.
Yeah. I would have took that chance. I was driving from the Destrehan game, and
let's flip the question then. If the kicker's not hurt,
kick it.
He'll kick it.
Yeah,
he'll kick it.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can finish. I just want to know if the kicker was not hurt, what would you done? You still throwing it to the end zone right there?
Look, that end zone right there is so magical, man. I done saw 3 or 4 episodes happen in the last 5 years right there. They beat Union Parish in that end zone, right in that corner, to go to the championship, man. So it's magical. They took a chance in that north end zone, and it worked out in their favor. Because when I actually saw it, I said, "Holy cow, he caught it."
Go ahead, JB. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, we good. So Ja'Kias Villanova catches it while on his back. That was crazy, and they win the game. I was at St. Augustine versus Edna Carr, man, and it was electric the whole time. Before the game, you had the bands battling it out at 6:15 while the teams were warming up. It was just special. It was special. But Edna Carr shows why they are still top tier, and St. Aug is still trying to get to that level. Edna Carr able to pass on St. Aug. They were able to run the ball on St. Aug. And the key was Edna Carr's offensive line not letting St. Aug get pressure on John Johnson. That was the major key. And John Johnson was able to make them pay with passing, or if he just decided to take off, he just take off. Because there was time when his reads weren't open, he would just go, and he's getting the first down. So Edna Carr just showing that right now they are still the team to beat. And look, I still say St. Aug is getting to the semifinals. I still say that because that's a good team. But they meet again. It's possible St. Aug can make the necessary adjustments to make it a closer game.
Nick, who you saw this week, my man?
Yeah, I got a chance to get a little egg on my face with Destrehan and Terrebonne. I had a lot of things playing. If it would have been the opposite, but Terrebonne they still, like JB was just relating to with St. Aug and Carr. They're still looking at the jersey. They're still looking at the jersey and say, "Oh, that's Destrehan." I think they had a tremendous game plan coming in towards halftime, and they got away from it. They left some time on the clock. They could have scored and really take it over from Destrehan, but they didn't. And it just started to be what we talked about on the Hash It Out show. That district going to be switching all around this year until somebody decides to claim it.
All right. Moving along, how about we break down some of these games from over the weekend? You guys watch more football than I do, so let's talk about these matchups. I start with Hammond knocking off Slidell 35-28. A lot of us got this one wrong. Your thoughts of this matchup?
Well, I tell you what, my thoughts are this. This is two teams who are wanting to get back to playoff competition and being relevant again. And there was a time when Slidell was, to be honest with you, and Hammond too. So they got two coaches at both of these schools in their second year, and they are right now having their teams playing phenomenally right now. And this was a great ball game, a tough competitive matchup between two old district rivals. They're not in the same district anymore. But Hammond coming up with the win, 35-28. I'm impressed with both teams. You got to credit both teams for their resilience and not giving up. But like I said, these are two teams who are pretty much rebuilding from the down years that they had. Slidell for sure the past 2 years having down years, and Hammond also trying to come up. But I got to credit both teams for the way they played and the way they fought and giving the fans who attended that game a great ball game.
Yeah, that game still got a little rivalry luster still left in it, man. And it's just a lot of fanfare for these guys to play each other. And like that, look, Hammond has been kind of hot lately. They got to win that East St. John. They was trying to stack wins. And it wouldn't surprise me that they'd be one of those 5-5 teams that get into the playoffs and could really do some damage.
Let me say this right quick, JT.
Go for it, babe.
4th and 5, 4th and goal, and Hammond stopped Slidell from tying that ball game up. Wow. Late goal line stand.
See, I told y'all would y'all know more football than me. Flying Snoopy scored 71 points this week. That is correct. They scored the most points in the state, if I'm not mistaken, this past week in week 5. And they're undefeated. So keep an eye out on Snoopy's or what they do the rest of the way.
Definitely.
Here's another one for you. John Curtis avoids upset with 33-29 win over Warren Easton on Thursday night. Did you get a chance to see the highlights? Your thoughts on the matchup? What went right? What went wrong? Close one on Thursday night.
Ooh, was it close? Was it close? I'll tell you this, though. I told people Warren Easton would be a much better team than they were last year. And there were people that said Curtis would blow them out. I thought Curtis would win, but I didn't think it'd be a blowout due to the fact that Warren Easton really has a good offensive line that can block well, especially when running the football. Warren Easton has two of the best running backs in the New Orleans area in Thomas Vaughn and Terrell Surtain. So Curtis had a tough time trying to stop the run. And I saw the highlights. They had a tough time. But Curtis being able to get a stop in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, is what sealed that deal for them, winning 33-20, 29. Both teams able to run the ball well, especially Curtis. Curtis had a couple of big-time runs, long runs, that helped them out in that game. But able to get a stop on Easton's last offensive possession is what helped John Curtis get that win. But like I said, Warren Easton is a much, much better team than they were last year. And when the brackets come out for the playoffs, they may be a team that no one will want to face, especially in that first or second round.
Yeah, it's been classic Warren Easton this year, man. They've been sticking with their bread and their butter. They've been running that football really well. They had a commanding lead over these guys, and I was shocked. I was stunned, really, and I mean, but it just goes back to when you look at John Curtis, they're gonna always believe in what they do. Even if they're down by 2 touchdowns, they're gonna still run the ball. They're still gonna play some good defense, man. And I tell you, I just hope that Warren Easton don't get wear down by that gauntlet they're gonna face in the next couple of weeks, because these losses can mount up on some of these kids' emotions,
Yeah,
definitely. John Curtis had a total of 413 yards rushing.
wow.
Yeah, 250 at halftime. That's
go.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Okay, moving along, guys. Dutchtown knocks off Santa Monica 35-28. This seems like it's going to be a competitive district all the way through.
Ooh, the
I
Griffins.
mean, look, Dutchtown, the defending district champions that we cannot forget about. But yeah, with this district here is going to be great. Dutchtown, St. Amar, Live Oak, East Ascension, Denham Springs. This is gonna be a fight every Friday night for this district. I'll tell you that right now. But I had St. Amar winning this ball game. I thought St. Amar would win, but Dutchtown was able to pull it out late. I mean, they were down 28-14.
Okay.
28-14, and Dutchtown came back to win this game. You got to credit Owen Fletcher, because his play in the second half was just phenomenal. And I mean, man, you down 20-14. Some people already have written you off to lose that game, but these guys didn't quit.
So sorry, I was reading a comment.
Oh, you
While
good?
you were talking, go ahead.
But credit Dutchtown for continue to fight and come back get that win, and even quarterback Owen Fletcher leading the way for it to happen.
Owen Fletcher, Coach Guy, man, I'm telling you, these guys, they like, they was like Mason and Puff after Big went out of here. These guys are going to be really dangerous in the playoff. Really dangerous in that playoff, because that district champion, just like the one in 858, they're going to get a perfect seeding to really run through a bunch of these teams, man, because they done played some really good competition coming all the way through district, man. And I look forward to see where Dutchtown land, because they probably one of the best kept secrets nobody know about yet.
When do we get Dutchtown and East Ascension? Which week will we get that one?
It should be the next 2 weeks.
And
within the next 2 weeks.
Let me get it for you right now, because I have East Ascension scheduled.
Yeah, I'm thinking that one might decide your district champion. That's just my opinion. Would y'all agree?
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Crosstown rivalries. And Santa Monica been playing some lights out football.
There it is. East Ascension and Dutchtown. That is week 9. Week 9.
I think it's for all. I think it's for all the marbles on week 9.
There you go.
All right. How about this one? Rivalry football. Waspin knocks off Carroll 28-23. You can throw the records out when these two match up. It's always going to be one we're talking about afterwards. Your thoughts, like with this Wasserman Carroll matchup, 28-23.
I mean, every time they play, it's always something chaotic happening. It's always something crazy of how one of the teams wins. It's crazy, but I mean, the fans show up for this game when they play. They always are passionate with one another, passionate for their teams, and it's just a hard fought battle between the two teams, man. So you got to credit Wassman for finding a way to win. But like I said, it's always something chaotic that happens, man, with this game. And, you know, it's either the game is tight and close between these two or the game is lopsided. But this time, very close game. Wassman used a bunch of explosive plays to keep drives going. That's how this game was won. A bunch of explosive plays. They had a 3rd and 40 conversion.
3rd and 40.
3rd and 40. See, I'm telling you, chaotic plays. I'm telling you, man. But they had a 3rd and 40 play. Well, they converted, man. But that's basically what it was. A lot of chaotic explosive plays from Wassman that helped them win that game. But that 3rd and 40 is the craziest one.
The rivalry speaks for itself, right?
Yes.
You never know what you're going to get from it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, man. Carroll haven't been carrying the torch like as of old, man, but you got to give them credit for sticking in there and keeping it and continue to make it a rivalry game, man. Some schools, I'm not saying them by name, they tend to let their rivalry die. And we got one right here in Booty with the Hanville Destrehan. Even though it's a traditional rivalry, Destrehan has the upper hand right now, but the Hanville is just not letting it die. Just like it's Carroll, they're not going to let Wassman have this continuous success, state championship runs, without having to say so within the next 2 years.
Here's a team that y'all might be familiar with. Vanderbilt Catholic knocks off Lutcher 14-3. What have you learned about both of these teams as we move forward to the back stretch of the regular season?
Go first, Nick.
Well, I can honestly say I told everybody before around week 5, that's when Lutcher's going to really start playing good. You gotta trust in the freshmen. Lutcher is having a clinical rebuild, but they still going to have some success. They still have a lot of good defensive pieces there. They got some special team aces. But you looking at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt have championship aspirations. I wasn't shocked at the score. I was shocked at how low the score was. You know what I'm saying? I thought if Vanderbilt win the game, it'll be a 28-35 game, something of that magnitude. But just watching from afar, watching Lutcher real closely, man, Lutcher's going to be fine. They're going to come into the meat of their district where they should handle some of those guys pretty well from the competition they've been playing. But Vanderbilt, they are the one that really trying to put forward to go to the state championship this year.
What I learned right now from Lutcher is that right now, the top tier teams they have played, they have struggled against. That's Slidell, that's St. Charles Catholic, and that's Vanderbilt Catholic. They have struggled against these top tier teams. But I think in the long run, it will help them be better and be able to face adversity and know how to overcome adversity later on. So I think Lutcher will be fine. I was shocked that they only scored 3 points. Vanderbilt Catholic, on the other hand, right now, this was the game I was waiting to see before I gave any thoughts about Vanderbilt Catholic. I was like, I have to see them against Lutcher first. If they get that win against Lutcher, then I have to give them a lot of credit moving forward. And right now, Vanderbilt Catholic beating a team and in Lutcher shows me that this team now is ready and know how to win games. Last year, we saw them have a great winning record, but against tough teams like Edie White twice, they didn't know how to finish Edie White. So right now, in a tough ball game with Lutcher, you know, you showed everyone that you know how to win the game, you know how to finish it. So now going forward with that experience, if you get another tough game with Edie White and you're winning, now you have an advantage of knowing how to win and how to finish it off.
Okay. Riverside goes down to Vermilion Catholic. Win it 42-19. Is it too early to hit the panic button for VC? And is Riverside one of the favorites right now in Division 4 Select to win it all?
Riverside is one of the favorites to win it. Yes, they are. That is without question. As far as Vermilion Catholic, and Nick said it last week, and VK said it, man, they lost a lot from that team from last season.
They lost Johnny Football.
Johnny Football is the main one. So they're trying to replace all those guys and get the ship rolling. I'm not hitting the panic button yet. I'm not hitting it yet. But I want to see more.
I would think it's over with for Vermilion Catholic. I think that was the one that they was trying to hold face with. If they could have got that game, I thought they probably could have arrived. You know, they didn't hit some hard games down the road, but they learned that Riverside is for real. Now, keep in mind, Riverside playing a lot of 8th graders that a lot of people around the state don't know about, 8th and 9th graders. Mm-hmm. So they building something really special soon. Playoff aspirations, yes. Championship aspirations, man, they got some people right there, not Belusas, probably gonna have something to say about that.
Yeah. I'll say this.
I think VC has a shot to. I think VC has a shot to win out here in the regular season, finish the season 5-5, and see what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They got 5 weeks left to still get better, and I think it's going to happen. You know, so we'll see what happens moving forward. But I think VC gets better.
And then Riverside, Nick said it. You got some heavy hitters, and that's going to be a competitive Division 4 Select bracket this year.
Yeah. Yes.
For sure. How about the Pios? Notre Dame back-to-back weeks knocking off a state champion. This week, they do it to Cecilia, 45-35. Thoughts?
Hey, look. I thought Notre Dame wouldn't be for real this year before the season started. I thought, you know, maybe to get to the quarterfinals, that's about it. But the quality of competition they have defeated, and we can sit there and say they should have beat Turlings Catholic because they had them too. The quality of teams they have beaten is showing me that this team is for real. And Louis Cook and his staff are doing a marvelous job with this squad this year. Man, when they about to start district play, and I know they're in the district with LCA. LCA not going to walk through this district easily with Notre Dame right now. I'm telling you that for a fact. This Notre Dame team is scary. It's scary, man. And
you got to remember last year, Notre Dame beat them in the regular season, and then LCA got their lick back in the playoffs.
Yes. But I think this Notre Dame team is better.
You never know if we're on a collision course to see these two teams meet twice before it's all said and done.
You are correct, sir. You are correct. But I think this Notre Dame team is better than what they were last year. So is LCA. So I can't wait for the matchup. That's all I'm going to say.
I tell you, they got some good money flowing through the Pioneers to have these kids coming, or they got a good cornfield to have these kids keep coming up like that. And
have a good cornfield. They got a good rice capital.
Yeah, look, somebody is bringing Coach Cook some kids, and I'm gonna tell you something.
No, I wouldn't go there.
That's one of the most intimidating places to play a football game.
We're not on the platform to say someone's bringing kids to schools.
No. When you say that, meaning an area like that, he can't keep having kids like that. For 40 years, he don't lose a beat. You know what I'm saying? As a coach,
you mean they grow up in the farm and they're eating good rice?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just like I said earlier, it's like when you have a great coach in this area of Louis Cook, man, I'm telling you, they haven't missed a beat. Even being in the state championship in 2016, 17, then taking a hiatus and come back, you know? And even Calico, New Iberia, same area, you know?
Not the same area.
No, you know, rolling side to side up the 90.
Battle in Lake Charles between Catholic of New Iberia and Lake Charles College Prep lived up to the hype. Panthers get out of there 49-42, win it at Lake Charles College Prep.
Well, we knew this would be a ball game between two great teams, especially Catholic of New Iberia defending state champions, Division III Select, and Lake Charles College Prep looking to make a deep run in Division II Select. But did you all know Catholic of New Iberia had to pull off a string of onside kicks to defeat Lake Charles College Prep?
So you're saying the onside kick that worked at Calvary Baptist last year is still working here in 2025?
Still working. This time worked multiple times this game. And you know, you got to credit them for being able to get the ball on the onside kick. And Lake Charles College Prep, I don't know what happened. I have to go back and look and see, but apparently weren't able to recover it because, like I just said, they pulled strings of getting multiple onside kicks. So you got to credit Catholic of New Iberia for pretty much finding ways to win by using those onside kicks, 3 of them in a row.
Yeah, great schools, man. They work on special teams. They take time. They put hours into that for situations like that. It's not surprising. We saw it happen last year. And to get multiples, it's kind of like you can't make adjustments once it happened. Can you get a kid out? Can you put a kid in? But credit those guys for having a great special teams program because it takes a lot of time to get these onside kicks and people in the right position to make them happen.
Great battle in North Louisiana with Neville Sterlington. Do you take more from a close loss with Sterlington than the Neville winning by 7, 28-21?
I think Neville beat them by 7 last year. And in me, it wasn't so much taking credit away from Neville, but it was crediting Sterlington for being able to compete with Neville. And I think, again, it would be a close ball game with Neville winning. And here it is again. This Sterlington team.
Also.
It
was homecoming also.
Homecoming for
Neville also.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But yeah, you got to credit Sterlington, man. They'll play anybody, not scared to play anyone. And the past 2 years, they've gave Neville one of their best matchups of the season. And this can only make both teams better. That offense that Sterlington runs is hard to prepare for. It's hard to prepare for. Neville really is not going to see a team run that type of offense. But I credit Sterlington because to lose to Neville 2 years in a row by 7 points, it just shows how good of a team you are, period.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, I was shocked, but not shocked. It's time, man. Sterlington been playing some good teams. They've been playing some really good teams. They fell short a couple times, but I tell you what, they're one of the teams that's really getting back to the Dome aspirations too, to defend their title, man. And what we gonna see in the next few weeks from Sterlington, them getting healthy. They went through a gauntlet schedule early on. Now that some things is working in their favor. But the Neville Tigers, man, we talked week 1. Remember, I really had Neville way up here. So it kind of shocked me on that aspect for being Sterlington.
Want to give a shout out to Abbeville, one of the 10 teams that were listed in last week's longest losing streaks in the state. They snapped their streak with a 20-14 win over LaGrange.
That's big for them. We talked about Southwood when they broke theirs, and this is big for Abbeville, and happy for those coaches, happy for those kids to be able to celebrate breaking a long losing streak and being able to feel what a victory feels like, man. So I credit them, man, and happy for them, definitely.
We talked about this last week, JB. What's next, right?
Yeah.
After you win, that's how you start stockpiling games. Kudos to them and the coaching staff, man, because you never know when you're gonna win a football game. Last week we both credited it's very hard to win a football game. We broadcast, we do media, we voice our opinion, man. But those coaches put some long hours in those kids just to get a W, and I feel for them to get that big time gorilla off their back with that victory.
You think there's going to be some excitement next week? Well, this coming week with Abbeville winning. Now it's homecoming week, and we're going to broadcast the game. You think there'll be some excitement in the stadium?
They're gonna be talking. Yes, definitely. They're gonna be talking. They're gonna see the fans gonna see the fans again, and they're gonna be talking about that victory last week. Yes, there's gonna be a lot of excitement. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, homecoming week by itself, and you got Under the Lights coming. Perfect combination. You gotta have it. You gotta have it flowing. Cheers are flowing.
We will see what happens. And I'm sure JB will announce those games at the end of the week that we're broadcasting this week, himself and myself, and where Nick will be located.
Yes, sir.
Acadiana rolls past Sulphur 63-0, but that's not where I want to go with this. The score is nice and all, but the biggest storyline was the young man getting cleared to play earlier in the week. Your thoughts of the situation? I'm happy he gets to finish his senior year.
I'm happy he gets to finish senior year as well, man. And just, rule not eligible to play, and then finally it gets overturned and the guy can play. That is wonderful. I'm happy for him. I'm just glad he didn't have to miss his senior year. Nobody wants to miss their senior year for no apparent reason at all. And I'm just happy that the LHSAA overturned their ruling to allow this guy to play. And there's another guy in this area where I'm at who is still being held out, be still ineligible to play. And I'm like, let the guy play his senior year. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Most kids are driving, but they're not making their driving force as far as their decision goes. And I think, you really got to take and look at it from both sides of the hourglass. It's high school football. If you punish a kid, it's 10 weeks. It's 10 weeks. You're going to eliminate a large portion of his high school career. You're not going to give him 5 games next year as a 19-year-old graduated senior. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully they can fix that, and a lot of these kids can, whichever new rule that they're putting in place, could be we wouldn't have this red tape, and these teams wouldn't suffer, and the kids wouldn't suffer.
So shout out to him. Acadiana gets the win, and I think the biggest win of the week was the young man getting to play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes.
Newman beating Riverdale 33-13. Were you shocked by the score? Even more, were you shocked by the win?
No, I wasn't shocked by the win. I was shocked by the score, but then come to find out Riverdale's quarterback got hurt.
Okay.
So that played a factor in it as well. I thought Riverdale would win, but I knew Newman would give them a challenge. And I said it'd probably be Riverdale's toughest challenge this season. And that it was. When you lose your quarterback, man, it hurts. Chemistry can go down, morale can go down. But credit Newman, brand new coach. Struggled their first 2 games, but after those first two losses, you can see things starting to come together for Newman. Now they're on a 3-game winning streak.
Oh yeah, week 1 St. Charles Catholic, week 2 Riverside, 2 storybook programs playing a unfamiliar coach. They had their way with them, and I think it's the kids buying in. That was the most important thing. The kids believing in the coach's message. Even though we 0-2, we still gonna start this week off 1-0. And they bought in, and Riverdale's playing some good football. It was playing some really good football. And it's just a testament of hard work, just going through the week, putting in hard work and waiting for Friday night. So kudos to Newman for turning that curve, because it took them last week to get their first win. Then they building now. They building.
St. Thomas More beats Westgate 22-18. Who is St. Thomas More? Who is Westgate right now?
Who St. Thomas More to me is a team that I don't want to say found his identity because I think they knew what their identity was, especially with Cole Bergeron as their quarterback. But they are a team that found its rhythm, and they are rolling. Westgate, on the other hand, is a talented team that has played a tough schedule. And I think for Westgate, it's going to pay off in the long run because I want to say Westgate already played Turlings, that's in their district, and St. Thomas More, that's in their district. Westgate has St. Martinville this upcoming week. I think you've got to see Westgate go on a long winning streak. St. Thomas Moore's on a winning streak as well. We know they're going to play Turlings week 9 or week 10. I think those are both two good teams. But I think as of right now, St. Thomas More found his rhythm earlier. Westgate about to find theirs, but with Westgate playing these tough teams already, it's gonna pay off in the long run.
Oh yeah, clearly both of them on the same course, man, trying to make it to the playoffs after a little hiccup. But you look at Westgate, man. Westgate want to be there at the end. They want to be there at the end. They had a little injuries early on last year. Coming up with the new season, they had a little doubt. They had Westgate. Man, people was putting Westgate way up there for the longest, and they haven't been living up to par. So I think this might be Westgate year to run deep. As far as St. Thomas More, man, I'm always shocked by that program. Nothing they do would surprise me. Whether they go on a 5-game winning streak from now into the playoff run, that team, that program is starting to solidify itself as one of the top in the state. So it was classic weekend to have that type of game going on, and they both could move on to their district now that it happened.
Ouachita Parish, all over Franklin Parish. Are they the sleeper to win that district? Are they a sleeper in Division I non-select playoff bracket?
I would say both. I think they are the sleeper team to win that district and a sleeper team to go far in Division I non-select. So they're making noise. They're playing well, winning games. This is good. And we talk about that district, that Monroe district. That district is tough. I mean, Ouachita, Neville, Alexandria, West Monroe, Ruston, and these are some good teams, great teams at that. So this district has gotten better within the past few years, and now Ouachita Parish seems to be coming back up to where they used to be. Yeah, Ouachita Parish is a sleeper in both of the topics you said, Jordy.
I still think Neville might have a little something to say about that down the line, but they've been playing some really good football. Ouachita, they've been playing some really good football. And when you look at it, JB, they're probably one of the toughest districts of them, man. And it's like the Catholic League that we get to see the Catholic League. We don't get to see them materialize as much, but they constantly knocking each other off some sort of way.
How about Jules Sumner beating Franklinton 21-14? Should we start paying more attention than we have been moving forward to this Jules Sumner?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yes, without a doubt. That, I mean, I've never saw Jules Sumner in person. I would tell you that, but I read about him, see the videos and everything. And they've always been a good program. They've gotten to quarterfinals. Maybe they've gotten to semifinals before, but I know for sure they got into the quarterfinals. This win over Franklinton solidifies that they may be the most dangerous team in non-select Division III. They may be the most dangerous team with this win right here.
It would be select.
Oh, okay. They in select. Sorry, my fault. Select Division 3. I apologize. They may be the most dangerous team in Select Division 3. And when the brackets come out, I'm looking to see which side of the bracket they're on, because I'm not going to face them at all on my side. But definitely the state has to talk about Jules Sumner. They are for real.
Yeah, they put the state on notice because they beat some good opponents this year. They didn't beat some really good opponents, and I tell you, man, it's nothing like the unknown. That's why we're doing the boot breakdown for people that don't know about Jules Sumner and those types of school, man. You got to make that connection somewhere down the line, because I can tell you, they really Friday night they really grabbed mine. I went back and looked at this schedule and I said, well, they really didn't put their stake in the ground to really claim this. You know what I'm saying? So they district should be running pretty well also.
Last year, these two teams played in an instant classic. Franklinton escaped with the win, went on to play for a state title. Jules Sumner fell in the quarters. This year, Jules Sumner gets Franklinton. Let's see how both of these teams finish at the end of the year.
Yes, sir.
The Willow School knocks off Sophia B. Wright 50-49. What a game that must have been.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's offensive power on both sides of the football. Coach Munchie Lego for Sophia B. Wright, man. He's putting his foundation together with this team. And we had them week 1 against Bonneville on the Hash It Out Show Thursday night game of the week. And we saw that they were struggling at first. So week by week, when we look at the stories and read them, we can tell they're getting better. They're getting better. They're getting better. The Willow is a school that still cannot compete for a district championship or even be in the playoffs this year. But you see the progress they have made this year against teams they have played. So this was a good battle, 50-49. Willow comes out on top, but a good battle between two teams who are trying to make their football teams better by the end of this season and to have them competing for playoffs next season.
Yeah, man, I want to give an apology to VK, because when VK was talking about the Willow School in week 3, I told him, I said, nah, man, they got to beat somebody to really say that they'll arrive. And look, sure enough, they're doing the thing. And I mean, I would love to see them in a playoff atmosphere right about now that they're stacking these wins together, man. And I watched with Coach Munchie. Lego is one of call greats. And
Yes.
to have them coming back in the community and keeping the kids in the community like Sophie B. Wright, that's not a traditional football school, and competing, that's real. That's real. So I love to see opportunities like that for these young men and these young coaches that's trying to grasp the obvious of playing in the city of New Orleans.
Rummel all over Brother Martin, 31-7. What happened in this one? They were the game to get away like it did.
What happened is, number one, Brother Martin couldn't stop the rushing game for Rummel. That's the first thing. Rummel was able to run the ball at ease against Brother Martin. Number two, Brother Martin's offense couldn't do anything. Not the running game, and the passing game for sure didn't do anything. Credit the defense for the Rummel Raiders for shutting down the offensive game of Brother Martin. I think they only scored on a pass play to Eastern Royal, and that was it. They weren't able to do anything else. Rummel's defense played a magnificent game, had a great game plan going in to shut them down. So you have to credit Rummel's defense.
Yeah, man, Coach Monica, he keep prevailing. He keep prevailing with those Raiders, man, and his coaching staff. When you look at Rummel, they identical to Brother Martin. They have championship aspirations. They played a tough shot team and won. So it's time that a lot of people start putting respect on Rummel name to make some noise in that Catholic League, man. Shocking for some of the times when you have a great team like Brother Martin starting off hot, and then it just kind of gets to district and really fade away to get to be one of those 5-5 teams that we always talk about. Get in there and punch somebody, get in the playoff, punch somebody in the face, and ruin their season to move on to the next week of the playoff. But I'm looking forward to see what's next for Brother Martin after they took their first loss.
In the car. That's his next.
Doesn't get easier.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Oldest running rivalry gives us another one to remember after Jesuit knocks off Holy Cross 20-12.
I think this is the 112th year, I believe, of this rivalry.
I believe it was 108.
108. Yeah, I'm in the ballpark somewhere. I know I'm not right. I'm just guessing. But the rivalry, it began in 1922. Oh, okay, maybe 108. Well, I could have swore they said 112 or 108 because they met in the playoffs before. But anyway, let's move forward.
100 plus.
Jesuit, what'd you say?
100 plus.
Yeah, there we go. Jesuit snapped a 3-game losing streak to Holy Cross with this win, 20-12. Look, this game every year, it brings out everybody affiliated with Jesuit and Holy Cross in the community. This is probably the most attended game in Tad Gormley every year. But I said Holy Cross would have to use Jacoby Ferrier in more ways than one to win this game. And they did, but not enough in the passing game. And that's where this game was lost. They got to, like I said, they had to figure out ways for Jacoby Ferrier to get the ball to the wide receivers. If they're not able to do that, they would have a tough time with Jesuit. And that's what it was between the two. Not able to get the ball to receivers, not able to convert on third downs. Running the ball with Corinne Johnson, they were able to do that a lot. That was successful. But when it came down to 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, they struggled making those third down conversions.
Oh yeah, Coach Manale, man. Look, let me tell you, Coach Manale, after getting the news of his players, man, you picking up the season, you trying to play some competition to get your guys ready for this Catholic League. Oldest rivalry. Everybody with the what they call that, the khaki suit on to the game, band flowing, Tad Gormley's loud. Hey, Jesuit, Jesuit gonna get one of them. They're gonna get one of them this year. They got Holy Cross. They're gonna get somebody else in that district that's gonna surprise a lot of us.
Salmon takes down Lakeshore 35-28. Thoughts on both teams moving forward? Lakeshore was one of my top 5s this past week.
I didn't see this happening. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I didn't see this happening. Did not see Salmon. Yeah, I didn't see Salmon defeating Lakeshore in a close ball game. But give them credit. Give them credit. I still say Lakeshore will be a tough task for anybody to play moving forward and in the rest of the season. But Salmon scored 21 points off of turnovers. You can score over turnovers. Nick, you know this well. You score over turnovers, chances of winning are pretty high. So Salmon committing turnovers and scoring 21 points off of them, you got to credit them for what they did, Jordan.
Oh yeah. Look, Salmon is gonna always prevail. You looking at Salmon and you talking about where they've been, and right now they might be a dark horse for right now. A lot of people just sleeping on Salmon, but we're gonna see in the near future how Salmon, because now with that game being won, they're gonna put a lot of folks on notice.
There you go.
Quick scores, real quick. Pineville knocked off Red River 41-40. Congratulations there. Eunice knocked off Welsh 32-29. Two good ones right there we didn't mention earlier. I wanted to get in before the end of the show.
All good.
Real quick, your thoughts on these three matchups that I'm going to throw your way. It ain't got to be long. Just give me your thoughts. Amite beats the Ruse under the water tower 21-6. Denham Springs, no problems with Southern Lab 41-14. And Woodlawn of Baton Rouge sends St. Martinville to back-to-back losses after a 26-20 win. Break down those three for me.
Woodlawn didn't shock me. St. Martinville has been struggling a little bit, and Woodlawn is an up-and-coming team, so that's a good victory for them. I said Denham Springs would defeat Southern Lab due to just being bigger, stronger, and having to my opinion, more talented players on that side. And Amite and Amite and Kentwood are the Kangaroos. That is a rivalry that's played every year. Those two teams will battle it out to the very end every year. And Amite coming out on top by a few points just shows how tough those two teams play each other. When they play each other, I'm not shocked by who wins, to be honest with you, because it's always a fight every year.
Yeah, and the little determination with Kentwood, scoring a little measly 6 points, man, that's crazy. I think they were better than what the score indicated. I think they're going to have a deep, if not championship run this year, barring injury. We see these games happening. We forget about some of the elements that happen to these high schoolers, but even in the rivalry game, scoring 6 points, that was unacceptable for Kentwood, but I still think they will represent in the Final Four or even to the Superdome.
Depending on how bad that injury is that was listed in the chat.
Yep, to the quarterback.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see what an update is from that. Prayers are with the young man.
Yes, sir.
I got two more for you before we close this one out.
Let's do it.
Last week, Sacred Heart knocked off Opelousas Catholic 3-0. This week they had a tall task to go play a really good Westminster of Opelousas team, and the game lived up to the hype. 2 undefeateds in this district race. Final score: Westminster of Opelousas wins it 14-7. So we know the Trojans' defense is for real back-to-back weeks. But we see Westminster championship caliber programs find ways to win, and they got a 14-7 win on Friday.
They sure did. I saw the clip. I think one of the defensive linemen, I want to say number 92, got an interception. I saw that clip and how the whole team for Westminster Christian Academy, Opelousas, celebrated with him. But we had Coach Porter on the show last week. And I want to say Nick asked him about, getting to that next level. And Coach Porter was saying, like, they got to beat teams like Sacred Heart. And I think St. Edmunds, he said also, Nick, St. Edmunds is in their district.
Yeah, I'll be there that Thursday night at St. Edmunds when they play them for should be the district championship.
Okay. He was saying we got to beat those.
I don't know.
Whoa. I didn't know St. Ed's lost. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, St. Ed's got blown. Catholic is who Westminster plays this
week.
Okay.
Yeah, this week.
Westminster is probably your district title game.
There you go. But Coach Porter was saying that those are the teams they have to beat in order to get to where they want to be. So beating Sacred Heart, that's one step down. Now, he's not overlooking the rest of the teams, but that is a good start for them right there moving forward. And then hopefully Coach Porter and his teams keep the ball rolling, because right now they do look like a team that could be playing in the middle of December inside that Caesar Superdome.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He put blood, sweat, and tears. This man drive from LaPlace to Opelousas every day. That's how much he loved to coach football. So sometimes when you display that to your team, that's when they started to adopt the way you think, and kudos to them guys, whether it's 14-7 or 2-0. We didn't saw that happen in high school football, or 3-0. it's classic to watch games like those transpire 14-7.
Yep. Westminster starting to check off some Catholic Appointed a week prior. They beat Sacred Heart this week. So they're checking off boxes. If they stay healthy, they're going to give a lot of team moving forward and going to make a deep playoff run. Got a big one this coming week with Opelousas Catholic. So excited to see how that one plays out. This one, but not least, Lafayette Christian Academy and knocks off the defending state champs of Central. Night Train rolls into mid-season favorites in Division III Select. You said Joel Sumner? Well, I'm saying LCA right now as my mid-season favorite to win it all.
I'm with you. I totally agree. I just think Joel Sumner is a real deal too. But
match up with LCA and Central.
Yeah, LCA and Central. Well, number one, LCA has some bulletin board material that I was told was put on their lockers. Yeah, they heard what Nick said. They put that on their lockers. You laughing, but I'm serious. They put that on their lockers.
Was I part of that?
And no, this last week.
This was on y'all hash out, or this was on the boot?
It was on the boot.
Yeah.
The boot, so I wasn't
here.
So I didn't get to hear
it. Last week. Yeah, that's why Cheese messing with them so much. But yeah, they had that in their lockers. And LC also felt disrespected that Central scheduled them for homecoming. So they were heavily motivated to go in there and win that game and got up to a 35-14 lead at halftime. And Central fought back, made it a game, but came up short 55-48. So I'm giving LCA all the credit in the world. And don't forget, LCA the week before committed 7 turnovers to Archbishop Shaw. If they don't commit those turnovers, they probably beat Shaw. So with that, they had a loss on them already, had bulletin board material, and then they're a homecoming opponent. They felt a certain way going into that game. They wanted to tell people, hey, we played a bad game last week. Watch us this week. And that's exactly what they did. I got to give them all the credit. Caden Ballard, 183 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns for Lafayette Christian Academy. Coach Matt Standiford, he praised his team's mental resilience, their mental toughness. And he's saying about them not giving up and them continuing to fight when things got tough with Central coming back. So you got to give LCA credit for that. 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries also against Central. So LCA still the team to beat in Select Division III. Yes, they are. That is the number 1 team to beat.
Yeah, big shout out to LCA, man. I just be sour sometimes. They took 2 state championships away from my sons.
Oh,
so,
man.
So I be a little bit, but look, I get it. These, when you have and play a schedule like LCA, man, I tell you, when Coach Falk was over there, it was tough. He had them tough, but they're playing tougher opponents right now, and they putting their money where their mouth is, and they hit the weight room, and they getting results now.
Top 3 matchups in your area in week 6. Who are they?
Ooh, I'll go first. Number 1, it is definitely we got Shaw versus St. James. Mm-hmm. That is one right there. Shaw against St. James. St. James coming down to Shaw. Number 2, I will go Brother Martin at Edna Carr. And
you think so? Say that the way they played last week?
Is that Morris FX Jeff Stadium, aka what we call Berman Stadium. Yes, that's where they playing at Carr's home. And Number 3, I will have to go, as I sit here and think, Jesuit and St. Augustine.
Okay. Nick, top 3 games in your area next week.
Oh yeah, big games, man. Terrebonne versus St. Charles Catholic.
Yep.
That's going to be a really big game, and just like JB said, Shaw playing against a high St. James team, and then we're going to look again and say Hornville and Thibodeau. Thibodeau undefeated in district play. Yeah, they're undefeated in district play. I'm gonna go sneak out to that game and see how everything gonna transpire, man. But those are the 3 games that I'm very interested in watching because they're gonna have a lot of movement with those 3 games coming up in some of these PowerPoint polls.
So give me your top 3 again. It was St. Charles and it was Thibodeau, and who was the third?
It was Shaw and St. James.
So in St. James. Okay. I'm going to go with these 3 here. I'm going Westminster at Opelousas.
Okay.
I'm going Jennings at Lake Charles College Prep.
Ooh.
And I'm going Lafayette Renaissance at LCA.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
3 great games.
Yes.
As we close this one out, most intriguing game in week 6 across the state. Who is it?
Go first, Nick. Go first.
Most intriguing game, I'm looking forward to seeing how St. Charles and Terrebonne bounce back both from losses.
Okay. I'm going Washita Parish playing Ruston this week.
Washita Parish playing Ruston. That's a good one. That is a good one. I'll tell you what. This is the one for me right here. This is the most intriguing game to me. The Battle of Highway 1. Denham Springs, Live Oak. And Denham Springs get the trophy back from Live Oak. In a couple of years. And that's really a greatly attended ball game. And they're actually going to play on Thursday this year. But the Battle of Highway 1. Denham Springs, Live Oak.
Levance gives us a good one also in the chat saying Alexandria and West Monroe meet this week.
Yes, Levance. Definitely.
All right, final words as we put a bow on week 5 and look forward to a great week 6. It's rolling along. It's rolling along, guys.
I'll say this football season is so far gone by so fast. We are already in week 6. It just felt like week 1 just happened. And we, like Nick said, we're starting to see who are separating themselves from the rest of the pack, who's a sleeper team, who's a dangerous team, stuff like that. But what I want to say is this, everybody, some type of way, those who are fans of high school football, go out and support these kids, go to games. You're not able to go to games, watch Under the Lights game of the week, watch the Half of Our Show game of the week. We encourage y'all to support these kids by any means necessary. What I saw at Berman Stadium for the first time ever, I never saw it like that. I got there at 3:20 and there was nowhere to park. The game don't start till 7. There was nowhere to park. And I know y'all saw pictures of the line, but that wasn't the entire line which y'all saw. That line was so far. It's from the gate almost to General Meyer. And y'all want to see where General Meyer is, y'all go search it and compare to Berman Stadium. But I credit all those parents, kids who came out to Berman. They said they sold 10,000 tickets. The stadium only holds 5,000. They had a standing room section there. I credit everyone that came out to Berman Stadium, and I would love for that to happen with all these schools to get support from the community. I would love it, period.
First of 2 meetings.
Oh, yeah, potentially.
Where will they play the next one? Will it be the Superdome? We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, this is October. The weather's changing. The leaves are falling. The hoodies are starting to come out. Man, look, this is the best time for high school football in this area. Whether you're in South Louisiana, Central Louisiana, or North Louisiana, uh, go partake in some of these games this weekend, or even if it's on a Thursday night. And like JB said, support these shows like the Hash It Out show and Under the Lights, because they're getting in the homes that people can't get out and see the game. They're getting into plants where people can't get out and see the game. So good shout out to y'all two guys for doing what y'all doing. I'm not into streaming, but I'm telling you, it's very, very needed.
Here's my final words as we go into week 6. Is something that I discussed on the Wednesday night show. So I do want to bring it up again on this show for the different eyeballs that do watch this show from your part of the state and across the state of Louisiana. Homecoming weeks for a lot of teams across the state of Louisiana. We saw a lot of homecoming games last week, this week, and so on. I do want to say to all those kids, remember the goal on Friday. Don't do anything to jeopardize your team with suspensions or a coach having to get a late night phone call. We want you to have a great week. We want you to build the memories, but we also want you to be smart about it. Stay out of trouble. Stay safe. Remember, Friday night, you have a game still to go play. Don't jeopardize your team, but create the memories in a way that you're supposed to.
Agreed.
Well said, my brother. Well
Yeah,
said.
definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it here for episode 6 of the Boot Breakdown. We say goodbye for now. If you want to watch football this week, here's how you can find everyone on this show. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, you can catch JB and the guys on the Hash It Out show, all social media platforms. Also on Wednesday night, they will make their game picks, 7 to 8:30. Also, same format. Watch them on all social media platforms. Then they might have some guests this week. I'll let JB discuss that if he wants. And then on Thursday, you can get your fix. We call it brunch hour. It is Coach. It is the Nick Prep Report. Nick and Coach with the Nick Prep Report for your brunch. So be breaking down correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna let you go and say I don't know how y'all not making any picks though, right?
No, we stopped making picks. We don't. We get too many fans coming to why y'all didn't.
Okay. So you can get your brunch for the River Parish breakdown on the Nick Prep Report on Thursdays for brunch at 11 a.m. And then on Wednesday nights, if you want to stay up late with us, we go from 8:30 to 11 p.m. Have a lot of fun with the group of panel and get out there and have a good time on Wednesday nights. And then Thursday, I'll have a game. Not sure if y'all doing a Thursday game this week. If you're ready to make any decisions or announcements, still to be determined.
That is still to be determined. We should know tomorrow if we get the game that we want.
Okay. Friday, where y'all guys are headed?
Friday, we are headed to Metairie, where it's going to be St. Aug taking on the Jesuit Blue Jays.
Good. I'm happy y'all got the good to go for that one. Nick, you heading anywhere this week?
Thibodeau Hornville.
Safe travels to the both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thursday night, I will have St. John at North Iberville. So it'll be the first time I get to go to North Iberville, see the brand new stadium that they built, and see two good teams going at it for sure. And then Friday night, it's homecoming night for Abbeville, and Mamu comes into town. Last year, that game finished on the final play of the game. So what's in store for this one? So Mamu won it on the final play of the game a year ago. What's in store this week?
Big night.
Definitely.
JB, take us home.
All right, guys. We thank you all for tuning in to the Boot Breakdown. We'll be back next Sunday at the same time, 6:15. For my main man, Jordan Taylor, my main man, Nick Campbell. I'm JB, the sports guy. We'll see you all during the week and on the last day of the week on Sunday. Y'all take care. Thank y'all.
Y'all go get y'all NFL in.
Definitely. All right.